Hey everyone, welcome back. So, this is the latest DLC and patch to be added to Warhammer 2. Again, I don't know if this is the final one or not. I would think it is, considering they have been saying it's that 3 is going to come out later this year. But I don't know. Maybe they will have more DLC for this particular game, even with 3 being worked on and released. This one seemed to focus on a couple of new specific lords. One is this guy right here. Oxyodal? I'm not sure. A new lord for the Lizardmen who is supposed to be like an assassin, kind of similar to Deathmaster Snitch over here. As far as I could tell, so it looks like he has a couple of new things here, playing as the Lizardmen. Which, of course, I have let it be known how much that I do enjoy playing as the Lizardmen. But the main thing that was that caught my attention about this upcoming patch wasn't necessarily this right here. It was the other lord that got released with him with a cutscene. This guy here. Taurox the Brass Bull, one of the Beastmen. Apparently, they decided to do a rework for another faction, the Beastmen. And I always kind of liked the Beastmen in terms of how they played, although there were a couple things about them that kind of annoyed me in terms of how they functioned. But I like the Wood Elves, I love the units in their army. I just think that they just look really cool and how they kind of function. One of those units I always kind of liked was the Minotaurs. I thought the Minotaurs just looked like this really cool kind of cool looking army. So they decided to go ahead and give the Beastmen a rework, which I'm in favor of, considering that I did enjoy the Horde gameplay of the Beastmen, but the fightiness aspect just kind of always kind of annoyed me because it seemed to deplete too much. I had to stand in a place and just keep raiding or to keep raising it. If I had multiple armies, my income was just gone. At that point, I was very quickly going into bankrupt because of the upkeep that I was having, since I had no income as Beastmen other than raiding, which is like, oh, really? I have to stand here and just keep raiding to get my income up and my fightiness up? That just seems boring. I'm just letting turns go by just standing here and raiding. But, I don't know, maybe, I guess I was just always just playing them wrong or something, so. But anyways, they have done a new rework, and things such as herd stones and blood grounds. Raise herd stones in settlements to create blood grounds to ravage, thus enhancing your war herd in the name of the dark gods. Dread. Winning battles and completing objectives earns dread to spend on expanding units and hero capacities, recruiting legendary lords or other upgrades. Aggressive unit roster with a variety of fast-moving beasts and monsters. The Slaughterhorn Tribe. Rampage. Maintaining momentum from successive battle victories earns Taurox rewards and bonuses. Minus 25% for increasing capacity of Minotaurs, Minotaurs with shields, and Minotaurs with great weapons. Taurox leaves rivers of blood effects in regions after winning battles, stacks up to 3 times. More weapon strength for Minotaur units, and an ability called Blood Beast. So, like the others, he has a cinematic tied to him in his campaign alongside that other Lizardman lord I showed a moment ago. So let's take a look.
The skies over Nagaroth are stained crimson, for the dark gods are pleased. Taurox, the doom bull of living brass, has brought glorious destruction in their name. But the blood beast craves more. The lords of ruin appear to their servant in a vision, promising far greater rewards for a far darker fate. Taurox must carve a bloody path to the heart of the dark, where stands the most malign of all herdstones. There, in a ritual most foul, an age of eternal slaughter shall be unleashed upon this mortal world. For untold millennia, the Lizardmen have stood against the forces of chaos. Few have slain so many demons as Oxyotl, their most deadly assassin. A celestial sign warns of a fate darker than ever before. The first ones look once more to their peerless champion. From the shadows, Oxyotl heeds the call. He has witnessed firsthand the true nature, the true horror of Chaos Unbound. He must strike fast before all is lost. Let the hunt begin. The Brass Bull and the Silent Slayer race towards the heart of the dark. There, the fate of every living soul will be decided.
Ordinarily, the ruinous powers pay little heed to the beastmen's deeds, knowing that the children of chaos will enact their will regardless of any rewards offered. Yet the dark gods always have plans for the Brass Bull. Bearing witness to his rampages and plotting further slaughter and destruction by his axes, a creature of violent whims, Taurox marauds through Nagaroth on the promise of more godly gifts to beckon him towards his final destination, a place referred to by the chosen Cloven Ones in hushed tones. These puny elves are sport for Taurox. We despoiled this place in the name of the Bray Herd. These Taurox blood grounds soon. The dark elves think they safe in their numbers of towers of stone. We trample them to dust. We raise the herd stone in the ruins of their home. We dominate. The tree-loving elves of Lauren stray far from home, but there is no escape from mighty Taurox. We show them the meaning of fear. Here we find passage to Lustria, defile the jungles, destroy all before us. We will taste the cold blood of the Lizardmen. Taurox was forged for war, forged by chaos. We wash this land in the blood of the enemy. Taurox dominate the world for the Dark Masters. As Taurox wins battles, he earns rampage marks, which fill up his rampage bar. Fighting more battles per turn keeps his momentum up and fills the rampage bar more quickly, passing through thresholds, offering choices of rewards from which one can be chosen. Rampage marks continually accumulate until the rampage bar is filled and the final gifts are claimed, upon which a new rampage begins, but if momentum ever reaches 0 and the bar empties, momentum is lost naturally every turn from defeats and retreating from battle. He also leaves stackable River of Blood regional effects whenever he wins battles, which increase leadership for chaos races and decrease it for all others, while also spreading chaos corruption. So, Horde gameplay like before. Blood grounds are created whenever the beastmen raise herd stones in settlements they have conquered. Once created, a herd stone region and others adjacent to it become part of a blood ground. Settlements raised within blood grounds provide devastation, which is converted to marks of ruination by performing rituals of ruin. In turn, this enables the beastmen to progress through ruination levels to advance their campaign. Selecting any settlement will display the extent of the potential blood grounds if a herd stone is built there. The number displayed above each settlement represents the potential marks of ruination earned after raising them and performing a ritual of ruin. Dread. Using Dread, beastmen can invoke the dark gods to grant them upgrades to improve their faction. Dread can be acquired from raising settlements, completing missions, and by winning battles in which higher numbers of enemy casualties will earn more Dread. Access the Rewards of Dread panel to purchase improvements, such as increasing the capacity of specific units, heroes, upgrading new herd stones and hordes, and even to summon other legendary lords. Destroy the enemy, raise their hovels, build herd stone for glory of Dark Masters. So, Challenges of the Dark Gods, that's the research tree. In case you're curious, what is the main objective to win this campaign? At the start of your turn, have at least 500 marks of ruination, destroy the following factions, which, the Ghosts of Bahux, which is the Oxiodal faction over here, and then win the following battle, the Heart of the Dark. So, here are the rewards for Dread. So here are the different kinds of units. Here are those guys over there, and you can be able to use the Dread cost here in order to upgrade them here. Here's for the Herds and the Hounds. You can see the different kinds of units that you can be able to put these into, along with those there. Centaurs, Giants and Chaos Spawns, Beastigors, Minotaurs, a Jabberslythe, that's a new unit. A Cygor, one of my favorite siege units in the entire game, since it's a siege unit that throws gigantic boulders, but can also defend itself by just like, oh, it gets attacked, smash or stomp. It's just, I just love that. And then a Gorgon, another new unit that was added to the Beastmen faction. I feel like I need to do an updated video on the new units that were added here. So other categories for rewards of the Dread here, you can use them to summon the other 3 legendary lords from the Beastmen we've had in the past, like Kazarok, the One-Eye, Malagor, Morgur. So if you still want these guys as part of your army alongside with Taurox, you can do that. You can also be able to put them into the different hero units like Wargors, Gorbals, Bray Shamans. Upgrades that you can be able to put into here. New Herd Stones are erected at level 5. Level 4, 3, 2, so you can just be able to kind of move up there. New Horde armies are raised with Horde encampment buildings already at level 2. Lords and heroes can be recruited at rank 5. Horde armies are raised with Horde encampment buildings at level 2 and a den building already constructed. More army capacity. Lords and heroes at level 10, rank 10. Lords and heroes rank 15. Horde armies are raised with Horde encampment buildings at level 2 with the Den and Scorched Grass Plains buildings already constructed. And you can be able to create different items that you can be able to equip here using different currency. Favor, of course, as it's common for the Beastmen if you want to be able to get some of these other ones here. So, yeah, you can kind of see what's going on in that regard. So anyways. Gorgon. I would love to show you guys what this thing looks like. I don't think I can, though. I really wish I could be able to pull up a model of the unit and be able to be like, hey, look at this thing here. But unfortunately, it looks like I cannot. So, anyways. The Beastmen came into being many thousands of years ago when chaos first burst into the world and all that was good and wholesome was washed away in a wave of tortured unreason. As chaos flowed across the veils of space and time into the world at large, from the skies came pulsing comets of whirling stone that pounded the land as if the fists of the gods themselves struck the earth. Huge chunks of solidified chaos energy buried themselves inside massive craters of scorched earth. As the land was infected by the raw stuff of chaos, its insidious taint worked outward into the fertile soil to be suckled upon by the roots of ancient trees and breathed in deeply by the beasts that populated those realms. Strange and terrible processes were enacted in that dank, boiling cauldron of fecundity? I don't think I've ever heard of that word. The primitives of the region and beasts of the forest were somehow mated, their terrible offspring born and mated again. Generation after generation came into being, indiscriminately reproducing and dying in an uncontrolled rapid procession. Thus, the race of beastmen was born. Willingly embracing their ruinous heritage, they sport the basic intelligence of men combined with the base cunning of wild animals. The beastmen lack even a shred of nobility and compassion, belonging utterly to the dark gods in both body and soul. There is perhaps no cloven one enthralled to the ruinous powers as deeply as Taurox the Brass Bull. Once a fearsome chieftain of the Minotaur tribes, Taurox's path was forever changed when he devoured the head of an emissary of chaos who had crawled into the mortal realm through one of Taurox's slain rivals. He was immediately shaken with visions of the world awash with blood and afloat with corpses. Roaring and screaming in convulsion, he took up his axes and slayed every single one of his tribe. But he did not stop there. For a year and a day, Taurox raged across the lands in a blind rampage, killing every living thing he could find. Tribes of beastmen, covens of witches, mercenary ogres, imperial patrols, proud Bretonnian knights, two-headed giants, all fell to Taurox's boundless wrath. After slaughtering almost the entire population of the Vale of Lietberg, he finally collapsed into the crimson stream of blood that flowed at his feet, his energies completely spent. But the Dark Ones had seen Taurox's rampage, and still had use for him. Under a scarlet moon, he was reborn, with a body of shining metal, as the reward for his fell deeds committed in their ruinous names. No more would he tire, just as no more would he have a moment's respite from the rage which consumed him. So Taurox set off once more, and began his slaughter anew. With turbulent visions sent to him by the dark gods of guidance, the Brass Bull will stop at nothing until his foes can somehow find a way to put him in the grave once and for all. Alright.
No.
Alright, let me quickly get into a battle here, just because I want to show you guys this new unit over here, the Gorgon. Armor piercing, anti-large, and causes terror. Whoops. Sorry. Yikes. Just look at this thing. Heck yeah, that thing would cause terror. Wow, you see what I mean? Just look at this. Look at this army. Minotaurs, Gorgons. Get some Cygors in here. And then, of course, you've got Taurox. Just the complete monster he is. Not quite the army I would want. I want to get rid of some of these, some of these Ungors are just kind of bleh. Not fond of the Harpies either. So, anyways. That is the Beastmen. That is the new cinematic that they had in this new patch and DLC featuring Taurox the Brass Bull, along with a rework for the Beastmen faction. If you're still concerned about, like, if you were like me and you had some issues in terms of, like, oh, man, too much upkeep, I have no income and such, and it was kind of a struggle with you, I would say go ahead and give it a try, the way they work. They still kind of have those drawbacks. However, there, of course, are mods in order to fix it. There are mods that you can get that dramatically increase your income if you're concerned about something like that. Or if you're not, if you just kind of enjoy the way they function, go ahead and try them out and check out some of their new units, like this Gorgon guy here. I seriously cannot wait to be able to see what it's like to have an army of just like all these monster units. It's something I've done before with other factions. I did it with the Norska when I used to have like just numerous monster units in my army. It was just so cool. But is it like the best type of army? Maybe not, but it's really cool looking. I'm just saying. Anyways, I don't know if there's going to be another DLC patch for this game. I'll obviously be keeping my eyes on it. And of course, I'm very eager for Total War Warhammer 3 to come out later this year. I will, I've already pre-ordered it, and I will try to, hopefully it's going to run fine on my relatively new PC that I have here. Hopefully the specs are not too demanding. I have what I've had some people say is a pretty decent combo specs. So hopefully I'm not going to have issues running it like I did with this game with one of my previous machines, where at times it just was too, the game was too demanding for it. Hopefully Warhammer 3 is not going to be too demanding when it comes to the specs. We'll have to wait and see. And if not, I'll try and show you guys some of the stuff for it when it does come out. Like the new cutscenes and cinematics that will no doubt be attached to whenever you choose this, certain legendary lords for whatever campaign. There seems to be a real emphasis at the moment on Chaos and Corvia, the polar bear faction that's in the northeast of the old world map from 1 that was supposed to help guard against the armies of Chaos invading our world. Again, not really that familiar with the Warhammer lore, forgive me, so it's something I'm still very much looking forward to. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.